Hi, I'm Charlotte, and this is Chatting with Charlotte, where I share conversations, life hacks, and inspiration to help you on your healing journey from childhood trauma. So today is part 4 of my series, Is God a Good Parent? If you haven't watched the first 3 videos, I put the link to the playlist is right there. So click on it and check it out. Today, I want to wrap everything together and make it make sense, hopefully, and give you just a little bit of insight that I've gained over the years about God's parenting style, because it's not an easy thing to comprehend. So yesterday, I ended with or focused on a very critical attribute of God in regard to his parenting style, and that is the freedom to choose and the necessity of facing consequences for those choices. And as we wrap this up, I want to talk about that a little bit more as it relates to parents who abuse their children and the children themselves. So, as a way of putting the pieces together, because all of the different characteristics kind of, in a way, focus around that one big concept of free will and agency. God has said that is one thing he will not take away from us, is the freedom to choose. He will always allow us to choose, but he will also always allow us to face the consequences. However, there is a scripture in 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13, which says, God keeps the faith, and he will not allow you to be tested beyond your powers. But when a test comes, he will at the same time provide a way out, enabling you to sustain it. Now, the it is faith. So, in this scripture, Paul is telling the Corinthians, you're going to be tempted, you're going to have difficult choices, things are going to come your way, and you're going to have to pick this way or that way. And faith is what is going to help you be sustained, because with your faith, you will be able to see a way out of that circumstance. In other words, you'll be able to see the choice that is going to have the best benefit for you and the best outcome for you. He will always provide that. But it's through faith that we're able to see that. We're able to see the way out. And even if we see the way out, we may not accept it. And we still have the power to choose. He's not ever going to come down and force us to choose the right thing. If he did that, there would be no freedom. And he would not be functioning as a good parent, according to what we've talked about in the other 3 videos. So he always provides a way out. He always provides a choice. But we have to see the choice, and we have to accept the choice. And so our parents who abused us in every single situation, they were faced with that. If they had faith, they could see the choice, but they still had the choice. So that takes care of that aspect. But what about our response? What does God's parenting of us as his children, how does that relate to what we're talking about? So God can, as I talked about yesterday, and often does, encircle us and protect our hearts and our soul. And he, through our faith, also provides a way out in the sense of hope. A hope of a possibility of a better outcome. And that hope then can lead us to being more content, can lead us to knowing that things are going to be better, or at least the possibility that they will be better, that there is hope of redemption at some point, separate and apart from what's happening with our parents, because we're not responsible for that. And one of the things that allowed me to have contentment, and I talked about this on another video on forgiveness, is that I am not responsible for the punishment or the vengeance towards my parents for what they did to me. That's between them and God. And when I let go of that, that was so freeing to me. I didn't have to be their parent or I didn't have to do that. That was up to God, and that was so freeing for me. The other thing that was freeing and helped me be content was learning to deal with each choice that I made, including my thoughts. And I've given suggestions on taking thoughts captive. So from all of these things on how to allow God to be a good parent and still make good choices, what I felt in my heart was that I had to be open to seeing and learning and understanding new ways of coping and new ways of dealing, implementing those, consistently making choices that moved me forward and not backward. And it was about choice, and God always did that. Now, He did in my life dramatically intervene through other people sometimes, and sometimes directly with me, but He did so even in those situations. I had the choice to either accept it or not accept it. So I think that is the key. We can accept what the choices and move either direction. And our contentment and our healing is dependent upon which direction that we choose to go. And if we make the wrong choice, God's there to pick us up and comfort us. He doesn't abandon us. He doesn't say, okay, sorry, you blew it. I mean, that would not be a good parent either. He welcomes us back. He embraces us, and He loves on us and helps us each step of the way. So, the person who suggested this, that prompted this video, one of their questions was, how do I find contentment in the process of healing, because it takes so long, and is it going to be better in this lifetime? And what I want to say is that God is a good parent. God does give us the way. God gives us insight and wisdom, but it's up to us to take advantage of it. And we can't always do that when they're in the midst of turmoil. And He knows that, but He keeps trying, and it's there. It's not going away. And so in that sense, He never gives up on us, like a good parent never gives up on their child. And so I think that is the key to God being a good parent. He's consistent. He gives us choices. He makes us face the consequences. He always gives us a way out. And He's always there when we fall, if we call on Him. So this has gone a little bit longer. I do feel it was important, and I hope that you listen to the end. And please subscribe. Tell me what you thought. Share this series if you think it would help someone else. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.